I can't pinpoint the moment it began. Chaos erupted like a storm, the cacophony of alarms blaring overhead, piercing through the air like shards of glass. The frantic screams of my coworkers reverberated off the metal walls of the factory, a sound woven with panic that hung thickly in the air. The acrid smell of gas invaded my nostrils, sharp and stinging, burning into my throat, gnawing at the edges of my senses. I stumbled, feet unsteady, as the reality around me began to dissolve into a haze. I could feel the gas, suffocating and omnipresent, coiling around my lungs. I reached for my gas mask, the cold, smooth rubber slipping through my fingers as my hands turned clammy and shaky. "Get to safety," someone echoed in desperation, but the panic-stricken voices collided in my ears, blurring into a frenzied hum. Panic surged through me, a current of instinctive fear, propelling me forward even as my mind spun. There were flickering lights, shadows dancing on the concrete, a dizzying world that felt almost surreal. Metallic tastes assaulted my palate, iron laced with fear, and I felt my heart hammer against my chest, pounding against the confines of my rib cage. I turned, eyes wide, scanning the chaos. I saw my coworker Sarah, her face a mask of terror as she waved her arms, urging others to run. There was Mike, his usual bravado replaced by sheer fear, darting toward the emergency exit. The air was palpable with desperation, a collective instinct to flee, and I felt myself caught in the grasp of instinct, tethered to the fraying thread of reality. But time fractured, splintered into discordant snapshots. My breath quickened as I felt my heart race faster, each beat echoing like a drum announcing my impending fate. I tried to shout, to find my voice among the chaos, but all that emerged was a strangled gasp that caught in my throat, clawing its way out as my vision blurred with tears. I could feel the cloistering walls closing in, an icy grip wrapping around my throat. Then the lights flickered once more, a frantic strobe illuminating the room in a spine-chilling rhythm. And just like that, everything dissolved. The clamorous world around me faded into sudden silence. There was no longer the sound of alarms, no desperate cries, just a chilling void that stifled my thoughts. An overwhelming stillness enveloped me, thick and heavy like a fog, creeping into every crevice of my mind. In that moment, I surrendered, not to death nor to fear, but to the suffocating darkness that wrapped around me as if the universe marked its territory over my consciousness. I floated in an endless sea of quiet, the vibrations of turmoil now mere echoes diminishing in intensity. I lost all sense of time, each second stretching into infinity, drawn into a silence so profound that it devoured the remnants of my life, plunging me into an abyss where chaos once reigned. I was suspended between worlds, caught in the chasm of after and nevermore. The weight of everything I didn't grasp, all the shouts that never reached my ears, was now lost in the heavy shroud of darkness. The silence has become my companion, a suffocating presence that envelops me, shaping my new reality. I drift within this void, feeling each second stretch into eternity, a tide that pulls me deeper into an abyss where time no longer holds relevance. Fragments of memories flit around me like moths drawn to a flame, flickering into the darkness before vanishing again. Is this what it means to exist, yet not exist? Then, amid the silence, a whisper of recognition washes over me. I am Arun, a factory worker, a son, a friend. I search through the murky depths of my mind, piecing together the echoes of who I once was. The laughter shared during morning breaks, the familiar faces I would greet daily, their voices playing like a repetitive refrain in a forgotten song. As the haze begins to clear, I see them vividly. Their smiles, the camaraderie that filled the air, the intrinsic bond forged in the crucible of sweat and toil. I remember my last shift clearly, the hum of machinery blending into the rhythm of life. We had worked side by side, shared countless moments, and the warmth of friendship had enveloped our small group. I can still hear the laughter that bounced off the walls, our jokes mixing with the sound of the machines clanging away in the background. But then, as I conjured those images, the fateful night loomed large, sharp and bitter, cutting through the warmth of those memories. I can feel my gut tighten with that unmistakable dread of the unknown, swirling my head with a sense of impending doom. Subtle warnings had filled the air, like an unseen storm gathering on the horizon. "Arun, did you hear about the maintenance issues?" Sarah had asked, her voice heavy with anxiety, the hint of concern creasing her brow. I had brushed her off, wrapped in the veil of my own self-assuredness. "Nothing to worry about," I'd said, laughter undulating like a soft breeze, blissfully unaware of the tempest edging closer. The facade of confidence shielded me, blinding my senses to the brewing storm that festered beneath the surface. I was just doing my job, I whispered to the void, anguish swelling within me. Never thought it would be my last. Those words hang in the emptiness, echoing all the remorse I didn't carry while I still had the chance. Each recollection cuts deeper, a reminder of promises unkept, laughter stained by tragedy's shadow. And then there was her, Mira, my beloved. The image of her smile, a beacon shining against the oppressive darkness, flickers in my mind like a distant star. I feel the weight of longing pinching at my heart, the realization of what I've lost crumbling around me like dust. I can almost picture her now, crafting little moments of joy, the scent of her lavender perfume filling the room, her laughter mingling sweetly with the soft hum of our lives together. I had promised her the stars, a life built on dreams and shared joy, yet in one heart-stopping moment I shattered that promise, leaving only my absence behind. The specter of guilt claws at me relentlessly, whispering of all the things left unsaid. I shudder in the shadows, reaching out into the void, desperate to push through, to escape this limbo that binds me. With each heartbeat, the residue of my past slides through my fingers, memories of the life I will never return to, swirling in painful harmony. As if summoned by my thoughts, vivid flashes emerge, the moment everything cascaded into chaos. I feel the familiar weight of my gas mask in my hands, the cold rubber a menacing reminder of my father's fragile promise. His voice echoes softly, "This will keep you safe, Arun. Remember, take care of yourself." A singular act of love rendered meaningless by the terrible negligence lurking in the shadows of the workplace. Then comes that pivotal instant, my last act of defiance against impending doom. I clung to the mask, its robust straps digging painfully into my palms, a pathetic shield against the onslaught of gas. I remember the pooling dread as the toxic cloud invaded our space, my primal instincts overtaking rational thought. Adrenaline flooded my veins, urging me to flee, yet fear pinned me down, paralyzing my every thought. But now, every thought is a chain, binding me to this desolate place between the worlds. I exist as a fragment, a mere echo drifting through time without tangible form. My heart aches heavier with each passing moment, resonating with remembrance and regret. Time shifts again, folding back over itself, and I grasp at what's left of my essence, recognizing the path ahead. There is a yearning within me, a desperate need for connection, to be remembered beyond bubble-wrapped solitude. I want to share my truth, to breathe life into what remains of my narrative. Maybe, just maybe, there is a way out of the shadows if someone can unearth my burdens. In this stillness, I reach for echoes of the love I left behind, whispering my longings into the void. Mira, I am sorry. I am still here. I cling to the hope that these words can carry through the nothingness, searching for resonance in a world that may still remember me, awakened by the weight of my silence. The echoes of my silent pleas drift into the stillness, met with a heavy absence that feels like an endless void. But within this weightlessness, I find myself caught in the strands of my past, moments stitched together like fragments of a tapestry long forgotten.
I see the ordinary days before the accident unfurling in front of me, like a film reel struggling to find its way back to the beginning. It was merely a Tuesday, an inconspicuous dawn breaking through the curtains of my small apartment. I recalled the soft glow of the morning light filtering through, casting warm patterns against the walls adorned with memories. There was my old guitar resting in the corner. Its strings went unplayed, gathering dust just like the dreams I often deferred. The mundane rhythm of waking up filled the air, buzzing with the hum of reality, the sound of the kettle boiling, the smell of coffee gradually wafting through the space,
barely masking the overwhelming feeling of fatigue. Just one more cup, I had thought, pouring the hot liquid into my chipped mug. I savored the warmth as it danced along my fingertips, longing to cling to the comfort that came from normalcy. I volunteered to take the early shift at the factory, driven by an unwholesome mix of obligation and the promise of overtime. As I rifled through my belongings to grab my jacket, I stumbled upon a small note on the table. It was Mira's handwriting, a thought scrawled on paper like whispered secrets shared between lovers. "Don't forget to come home early. I'll have dinner ready." My heart lightened, a flicker of warmth spreading through me at the memory of her enchanting smile. Thinking back now, I can't help but feel an ache in the pit of my stomach, the shadow of a foreboding that came dressed in the shrouds of what was to happen. But like so many people wrapped in their own complacency, I brushed off the sense of unease. I chuckled lightly, dismissing it as my mind playing tricks, a bad habit of overthinking. In the hours leading up to the accident, the atmosphere at the factory buzzed with the energy of routine. I remember the clatter of tools being set down, the rhythmic pulse of machinery, all of it a rhythmic waltz that barely skipped a beat. My coworkers joked as they arrived, banter spilling freely like the coffee I had raced to drink earlier. Sarah, with her infectious laughter, had walked past me with a cheeky smile, and Mike had pat me on the back, his usual bravado intact. But hidden beneath that vibrant surface, there was a tension, a whisper of caution that lingered like stale air, pushing against the back of my mind. Ignored warnings of maintenance needed, murmurs of a lack of safety protocols floated like ash on the breeze, yet we all pressed forward, blind to the brewing storm. "Another day, another dollar," I recalled one of the old-timers stating, a mantra for those caught in the cycle. Yet here I was, entangled in the choreography of my life, oblivious to the warnings that would soon drown me. That very day, I remember spilling coffee on the floor during our break, a moment of chaos that seemed trivial. "Oops," I laughed, the hot brew splattering onto my shoes, and everyone joined in the laughter, a brief moment of unity amidst the backdrop of impending tragedy. I didn't realize how profound that moment was until later, how unmoored I would feel without those small joys. Time slipped through my fingers like sand. The hours we spent together, working side by side, seemed like a dream, ethereal yet graspable. Flashes of normalcy, the chatter over lunch and shared jokes wafting through the air felt like the colors of a vibrant sunset painted against the canvas of oblivion. But inevitability loomed larger than life. As we transitioned into the final shifts, the familiar sense of routine morphed into a sharp ache of neglect. There was a distinct moment of silence, a prelude to the storm that would descend upon us. I stand at the precipice of that chaos, feeling the weight of what was to come like a storm hanging heavy in the air. Little did I know, everything that made up my world was perched on the brink of crumbling. I was caught in a reverie, a haunting blend of laughter entwined with the ghost of fate. It began, yet I didn't know it. The signs were subtle, but they whispered warnings I couldn't hear above my own optimism. The mundane turned catastrophic in the blink of an eye, and my existence spiraled toward oblivion. Now, within the echoes of my being, I search for the significance hidden within those fleeting moments, the laughter, the light, the love. Each sigh resonates farther, seeking a tether to the warmth of my life before the shadows consumed me entirely.
The memories hold weight, confirming that I was real, I was loved, even if it now feels so far away. In this stillness, as I float between what was and what would never come, I harness those memories like lanterns against the dark, willing the world to remember me, for all the good, the laughter, and the simple moments in between. Time may have suspended me, but I refuse to let it erase my essence. Amidst the echoing shadows of my past, a single object emerges like a beacon in the mists of time. A simple wristwatch, its surface scratched and worn. I can visualize it clearly, its silver casing reflecting light like shards of fragmented memory. An ordinary watch, but to me,
it represents something profound. I remember the day I received it, the way it felt in my hands, the cold metal cool against my skin, wrapping my wrist in the warmth of my father's love. He had been a man of precision and punctuality, teaching me that time was a gift, something to be cherished. "Every tick is a moment we can never get back, Arun," he had said, fastened it around my wrist with a gentle smile that lit up his weathered face. I had admired the way he emphasized the significance of every passing second, imbuing my life with a deep sense of responsibility, one that has lingered through the years, even now, as I drift in this liminal space. Time flowed differently in the realm I now inhabit. My memories flickered about me like fireflies in the twilight, but the heart of my being remained intertwined with that watch. In its presence, I feel connected to both my past and the life I lost. It was a talisman, an anchor of sorts, a physical reminder that time is relentless, ticking away, even as I drift aimlessly among echoes. The watch had stopped the moment I did, a cruel twist of fate that encapsulated my existence, forever frozen at that hour of tragedy. I can still sense the weight of it resting against my wrist, a silent witness to all that unfolded afterward. I often wonder if the watch, in its stillness, experienced the same tumult of emotions that swirled within me: regret, sorrow, longing, all bundled within its metallic frame. In those fleeting seconds before chaos descended, I had glanced at it, noticing the second hand twirling impatiently in the face of danger. "Just a little longer," my heart had whispered, brimming with naive optimism. I clung to the belief that I would make it home again, to see Mira's comforting smile waiting at the door, the warmth of her laughter surrounding me like a soft embrace. I can hear her voice once more, soft and lilting, filled with eagerness. "You promised you'd be home for dinner," she'd gently scold if she knew I lingered too long at work. I can envision her laughter as she playfully nudged me, teasing my penchant for being late, and all the while, I thrived on that connection. That love ignites something deep within me, transcending the void I now inhabit. The world outside feels dim, languishing in shadows, yet in those fragments of memory, she shines like the brightest star against the dark canvas of night. Yet, the weight of the watch presses down upon my spirit, each tick as a reminder of what I can no longer grasp. It reminds me of the life I could have led, the laughter I could have shared. But locked within its frame is also the reminder of what I need to release. Those fleeting moments of joy, although beautiful, create a heaviness I cannot afford to carry into eternity. I ponder what will become of my watch, this vessel of memory. I can sense it being discovered someday, perhaps in an unremarkable box of forgotten belongings, gathering dust as the world keeps spinning. Will someone pick it up and feel its weight, understand its significance? I hope so. I hope they will wear it, experiencing the moments I had, learning with each tick that life should be savored, that in every breath lies a chance for something beautiful. The day will come when someone unearths me, the essence of my past tangled within the relics of my life. I wish for that person to smile, feel the echoes of laughter resonate through them, and realize that we are all interconnected by the fragile thread of time. That person will understand the importance of the ordinary, the richness in seemingly trivial moments, the laughter spilling over cups,
the embrace of a loved one waiting by the door. As I float within this realm of memories, I can almost see that future. Flashes of someone wrapping the watch around their wrist, feeling its cool touch, adding their own moment to its ticking tales. Would they listen closely, perhaps hear the whispers of the past echoing against their hearts? Pieces of me longing to be shared, woven into the fabric of another's existence. It dawns on me then, I don't have to cling to my sorrow. Instead, I can release it, allowing the laughter, the love, and the memories to shine brightly, unfurling like petals to embrace the light once more. My spirit tugs at the watch, coaxing its significance to transform into freedom, into the understanding that my essence need not be a burden, but rather a parting gift to the world I once inhabited.
I realize I am at a crossroads. The time has come for me to let go of the ache that has bound me for too long. As I release the watch, I feel a swell of warmth, a rush of peace coursing through me like a soft breeze. It glides through the layers of time and space, and as it drifts, it carries away the remnants of my anguish. In shedding my regrets, I surrender them into the void, sending them forth one last time. Somewhere, someone will find it, and through them, my echoes will live on, breathing life into what once was and what could always be. In that moment, within this transcendence, I feel the weight of time lighten, the gentle embrace of love surrounding me, nudging me toward the shimmering horizon of release, where darkness slowly recedes, yielding space for peace to blossom. I feel a sense of relief, a warmth wrapping around me, reminding me that in every ending there is also a beginning, even in the totality of loss. As I drift closer to that light, I cherish each cherished moment, letting them fill the empty spaces with vibrancy, waiting for someone to uncover my heart in the ticking of time. In the gentle embrace of release, I find myself standing at a threshold, a hazy veil separating my essence from the world I once inhabited. It is here, in this liminal space, that a profound stillness envelops me, and I become acutely aware of the weight of my final moments. Time slows, stretching like a soft ribbon, allowing me to reflect on what must come next. There's a warmth beginning to pulse within me, a recollection of my commitment to my family, and the promises I made that still linger in the air. What would I leave behind? What final act would encapsulate the love I held within? I think back to that day, the silken fabric of my life now interwoven with threads of yearning. Around me the air is thick with anticipation, eerie yet comforting. I feel an urgency bubbling within me, propelling me toward resolution. The sensation is electric, alive, the pressure of knowing that I am about to diverge from this suspended state. I need to act, to say the hidden things that have remained unspoken. So much unfinished, so much love left unsaid. I see flashes of moments. Mira's smile, soft and earnest, the way she would tilt her head while listening to my daily tales, her brow furrowed in concern for my struggles, always eager to catch the flickering shadows of worry that crossed my face. I remember the warmth of her hand pressed against mine, our fingers woven together as we strolled in the twilight, sharing dreams as we promised we'd face all of life's storms together. And yet, life had its own plans, hadn't it? The flickering flames of our shared hopes extinguished, leaving only a void of memory in their wake. I close my eyes, sinking deeper into my thoughts, feeling the tides of nostalgia wash over me. All those unsaid apologies clogging the back of my throat, burdens I never voiced, regrets of busy days where I should have taken the time, encountered the soft touch of her cheek, or simply invited her into my chaos to share a laugh. If I were to embrace the light that beckons me now, I must dislodge these thoughts bursting within me like tiny fireworks, desperate to be freed. Mira, I should have said it more often. I should have told you how much you mattered, how bright you made my dark days, how much I valued your understanding.
I should have held you closer during my struggles and let you know that I wasn't just battling alone. I needed you more than I ever let on. I take a deep breath, the silence wrapping around me like a cocoon. I feel a shift within, a release in the tension that constricted my heart, tightening it so much it had felt like a chain reaction, each memory a weight, heavy on my chest. Yet now, with the act of expression, it lightens, dissipating like mist. I know now that the time has come to give these words life. I can weave my regrets into lovely threads and knot them tightly into an offering, constructing a final tale of love and acceptance. My heart pounds with the urgency of unburdening. My spirit surges forth with purpose. Drawing from the warmth that radiates within me, I focus intently on my thoughts, summoning them forth as if materializing into the air, drawing energy from every fleeting moment of my existence. As I speak to the vast unknown,
I feel the essence of those I love gathering around me. Hear the soft echoes of their laughter resonate with the sighs of unearthly beings. I was just a man, I whisper, feeling the weight of my own humility wash over me. A man who stumbled through life, always rushing, always distracted. Forgive me for not recognizing the beauty in the mundane, for not celebrating our simple evenings spent under adoring stars. I wish I had grasped those moments a little tighter, shared more of myself, let love overcome the stubbornness of pride. Each confession spills out like beads of light, glimmering against the vast tapestry of my existence. I carve space for my apologies. They loom large over me. But as gravity pulls downwards, the act of releasing them lifts me weightlessly. I allow the burden of unspoken words to fall, dislodging the apprehensions tied to my heartstrings. They drift away, echoing in the atmosphere, reverberating in waves until they dissolve into the ether. A sensation washes over me, a wave of acceptance. I sense distance collapsing. Physical proximity no longer determines connection. I can almost feel Mira's presence beside me, an ethereal warmth emanating from the space around her. My words drift toward her like gentle caresses, seeking to envelop her in the glow of my sincerity. It's okay to cry, Mira, I whisper softly into the fabric of existence. Let your tears flow. They carry both the sorrow and the joy of our time together. Each drop speaks of love. Every single moment we shared was worth the delicate balance between the laughter and the tears. I'm here now, watching over you, urging you to embrace life without fear, to paint the world with your colors. I want you to dance amidst the shadows of grief, to let your heart beat in rhythm with the world around you once more. In this space, I release the final vestiges of what held me back. Past insecurities melt into grace, and all that remains is love. I pour forth my heart, letting it resonate throughout the universe, the truth emerging like flowers unfurling in the spring. Summoning all the wisdom I gained through fleeting days, I open my arms wide, allowing every aspect of my being to engage with the light swelling around me. It envelops me, shimmering with the hues of acceptance, illuminating the once hidden crevices where sorrow resided. In a final heartfelt act, I extend my essence, ready to embrace the light as it envelops me. In this embrace, I feel the delicate balance of my very being, and I let the remnants of my spirit enter the luminous horizon of release. I know that I may dissolve into the light, but the love remains, a beacon that will transcend time, nestled safely in the hearts of those I left behind. With a deep breath, I surrender fully. As the darkness yields to the light of my memories, I am overcome with peace. In this transformative moment, I accept the freedom of letting go, and I rejoice. I am no longer bound by the past, but instead am reborn into the light, a testament to the undying echoes of love that continue to thrive in the world I cherished. As I dissolve into the light, the boundaries of my former self begin to fade. I experience a sensation unlike any other. It's neither physical nor material, but rather an expansive awareness enveloping me.
It's an infinite stretch of consciousness, interlaced with the echoes of who I once was, and I find myself floating in this ethereal space, designed of whispers and light. Here, there is no pain, no sorrow, only the remnants of existence in vivid colors and shimmering emotions. I transcend the limitations of time and identity, moving beyond the past that once defined me. With each passing moment in this new realm, I feel the energies of countless lives intertwining, pulses of remembrance from souls who, like me, wandered through their journeys and now existed in this vast cosmic embrace. I see flashes of lives intertwined, joyful moments, tender gestures, and heartbreaking farewells. They all seem to converge as if they were strands of a massive tapestry woven with love and grief. I feel their stories resonating in my spirit, as if they are voices carried softly on a breeze, inviting me into their collective consciousness. My awareness sharpens, capturing the vibrant echoes of conversations, laughter, and heartaches. Memories flit past like leaves caught in a gentle wind, thousands of stories swirling around me, offering fragments of existence that beckon for attention. In this limbo of understanding, I search for the essence of my own narrative against this exquisite backdrop of shared humanity.
I encounter the fleeting emotions of my own life, joy and sorrow, love and regret. Each moment expands before me, showing the layers of significance hidden within. I drift through the time when my father held my hand, guiding me toward manhood, and the days when Mira's laughter rang like music in my heart. They swirl around me like galaxies of color and sound, unveiling how interconnected our experiences truly are. I float through my memories as a delicate observer, no longer burdened by them, but instead embracing them fully, allowing the lessons of love and loss to wash over me. I press deeper into this cosmic embrace, seeking the truth hidden within the echoes. I feel a gentle tug, a yearning for connection as I navigate through the fabric of shared experiences. Suddenly, I witness an image that pulls at the strings of my soul. Church bells ring out, chiming harmoniously against the backdrop of sunlight streets. I see a gathering of people, their eyes filled with love and sadness, clinging to each other in mutual support. I penetrate the veil, observing the grieving faces of my loved ones as they gather. Among them is Mira, the light of her heart dulled by loss, but her spirit still radiant as she attempts to find solace in the love of others. I see her standing in a gentle bloom of sunlight, tears tracing along her cheeks, speaking softly of me with a tremor in her voice. Each word is a tender embrace directed toward the sky. "Arun," she whispers, "you will always be in my heart." The warmth of her love washes over me once more, wrapping me delicately. I want to reach her, to tell her I am here, that I have never truly left. The barrier of this realm pulses with energy, and I attempt to send her a message, wishing to assure her that I understand now. I send forth a current of love, weaving it into the very fabric of the gentle winds stirring in the universe. "Feel me, Mira," I whisper into the cosmos, letting my essence weave through the air. "I am always with you, a whisper, a breeze, a moment in sunlight. I am the warmth guiding you, urging you forward. Don't hold on to your grief too tightly. Let it drift and allow joy to seep in again. Paint the world with colors I cannot, live in ways I would have cherished. Find the beauty in every breath, every heartbeat." I feel a soft acknowledgement from the universe, a resounding sense of affirmation in the silence. Mira wipes away her tears, and I watch as she gazes upward, momentarily lost in a scrap of thought. She looks toward the sky, as if searching for the voice escaping the confines of her grief. In her heart she feels it, that spark of connection transcending space and time. I drift through the immediate moments following, each second feeling both endless and fleeting. I watch from my ethereal perch as Mira begins to smile through the heartache, a flicker of remembrance breaking free from the shadows. I see the world reflecting her newfound resolve. The winds carry her laughter, echoing against the walls of silence and despair. With each step she takes, it's as though my essence aligns with her strength.
There's a new light within her, one born from the ashes of sorrow, propelling her forward. I am swept up in this wave, feeling the push and pull of her journey. She breathes, she lives, and I become part of those moments, intertwining with her spirit like tendrils of soft light. In this cosmic sanctuary, time is suspended. I am released from the bounds of what was, ascending toward a sublime understanding of freedom. I am free to express love without the constraints of my physical body, free to encourage and uplift those I hold dear. The soul of the universe twinkles around me, a tight-knit fabric that binds us all, teaching me that to exist is to be interconnected. I come to understand that, though I may have departed, my journey continues in myriad ways. Every act of love begets more love. I feel liberated in knowing that I contribute to this grand symphony, that I now harmonize with the essence of those still living, with every heartbeat that continues to resonate in the realm of joy and memory. The light envelops me, lifting me higher, until my essence becomes one with this expanse of consciousness. And within that oneness, I find peace. I have stepped beyond sorrow, and the past no longer weighs heavy on my wings. As I drift further, I feel radiant, vibrant, and free. I am released into the vastness of love.
In this boundless realm where light dances around me, I sense the threads of connection tightening, pulling me toward a soft whisper in the fabric of existence. It's an invitation, subtle yet powerful, beckoning me to reunite with the world I once knew. I feel the pull of attention shifting towards something tangible, a moment I must honor. As I hover in this ethereal space, I see a life unfolding, one that is not my own, but intricately linked to the essence I now inhabit. I am drawn to the familiar cadence of a heartbeat, the gentle rhythm of a life searching for solace amidst grief. I focus, and the scene crystallizes before me, shattering into clarity like shards of glass catching the sunlight. There, in a sun-drenched room filled with warmth and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, I see her again, Mira. She is seated at a small wooden table, cradling the watch I once gave her. It glimmers under the soft light, casting tiny reflections that dance upon her face, illuminating the depths of her sorrow and resilience. Her fingers tremble as she turns it over, tracing the contours with a tender reverence. This object, once merely a possession, has become a bridge between us, a connection strengthened by love and remembrance. I watch as she clutches it close to her heart, and in that moment, I am swept into a torrent of emotion that surges through both of us. Within her grasp lies encapsulated the essence of our shared moments, every tick a reminder of love, laughter, and life. I feel the ache of her sorrow, and I want to reach out, to infuse her being with the warmth of our memories. Remember me, Mira, I gently whisper, each word a feathered caress. Feel the love we nurtured in our time together. Let it breathe life into your days. I am still here, in every thought that comforts you, in every shadow that dances at dusk. Her gaze lifts, as if she hears me somehow, as if the winds of my whispers have found their way through the veil of time. There's an awakening in her eyes, a flicker of recognition and empowerment. The weight of loss begins to lift, transforming into a delicate lightness that envelops her. In this space, I witness her grief transmuting into an inspiration, the understanding that love does not dissipate with physical separation. She breathes in deeply, her spirit leaping forward with newfound courage. The watch, now a talisman, seems to pulse in rhythm with her heart. As she rises from her chair, I feel a deep camaraderie with her determination. She moves toward the window, sunlight spilling in like liquid gold, illuminating her path, defining the contours of her journey ahead. Her laughter returns, soft at first, then building in strength, reverberating like joyful thunder. I soar with her, feeling the exhilaration of liberation. Live for us both, I urge her, my voice threading through the air, a gentle yet powerful current. Embrace each moment, even the small ones. Let them become your canvas, a beautiful tapestry painted with our memories. I see her stepping into the world beyond her doors, a world once filled with shadows that now shimmer under the light of hope. With each step,
She begins to share the stories of our time, the laughter of the evening spent under starry skies, the quiet strength we shared during difficult nights, the warmth of connection that once filled our home. Those moments resonate outward like ripples in a tranquil lake, touching others, family, friends, and even strangers, igniting their spirits as they too remember the love and tenderness that can last even in absence. I watch and wonder as she becomes a beacon of light, spreading joy stemming directly from our shared past. The universe spins around me, and I drift within the symphony of our intertwined existences. Each note plays a part in the harmony, accentuating life itself, painting the air with echoes of laughter, tears, and love. I am reminded that through her, I flourish, rejuvenated by the beauty of remembrance. I let go of the watch, letting it settle into her heart as a final gift. It becomes a touchstone, a piece of evidence that our love story continues, no matter the distances between worlds. I embrace the essence of connection, knowing that in this profound reawakening, we are eternally intertwined, each heartbeat echoing moments of shared existence. As I drift further into the light, I surrender to the realization that love transcends boundaries, filling the vast cosmos around me with warmth and brilliance. I am a whisper on the wind, a sigh in the sunset, living on through the hearts of those I cherish. I watch and wonder as she becomes a beacon of light, spreading joy stemming directly from our shared past. The universe spins around me, and I drift within the symphony of our intertwined existences. Each note plays a part in the harmony, accentuating life itself, painting the air with echoes of laughter, tears, and love. I am reminded that through her, I flourish, rejuvenated by the beauty of remembrance. I let go of the watch, letting it settle into her heart as a final gift. It becomes a touchstone, a piece of evidence that our love story continues, no matter the distances between worlds. I embrace the essence of connection, knowing that in this profound reawakening, we are eternally intertwined, each heartbeat echoing moments of shared existence. As I drift further into the light, I surrender to the realization that love transcends boundaries, filling the vast cosmos around me with warmth and brilliance. I am a whisper on the wind, a sigh in the sunset, living on through the hearts of those I cherish.
And with that understanding, I smile, for I have finally found my release, not in absence, but in an everlasting presence.